What's up, everybody, and welcome back tonight for another review of Power Book 2. This is episode 9, Monster. Before we get into episode 9, we got to talk about that trailer we got for Power Book 3, Cain, which is officially dropping this summer 2021. It's going to be taking place in Southside Jamaica, Queens. As I can tell already by the attire and the music, that's exactly where I thought it was going to be at.
Exactly.
I think it's very fitting as well, too, to kind of push everything around in different barrels. So I'm definitely hype about that. But initially, what's your quick thoughts on the trailer?
Oh, we just can't get away from 50's real neighborhood, huh? To put it in Southside Jamaica, Queens is hilarious. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is the initial trailer we saw at the end of Power, right?
No. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's tying into this. Yes, that's where that's going to be at. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, while I'm not too keen on Kanan's character by himself, as long as it still explores how did we get to the point with Tommy, him, and Ghost, then it could be interesting. I mean, this was the least. Well, no, Tate is the least sought after spinoff.
I don't think no more now. I got the objection to that.
But like this was like next up. I always wanted Tariq and I wanted Tommy.
Yeah.
And Yaz, whenever we get Yaz's spinoff, I'm waiting for that one, Joe. That's gonna be the real fire right there. I'm telling y'all just don't know. He's gonna say all the words in that jump. But I mean, it's still a good thing, and I love the point that it is this summer. So at least they're pumping these out.
Yeah,
where you're not waiting for a Power Book every year.
Yeah,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely agree. I'm definitely hype about it coming back this summer. Then that's a good release point too for Stars to keep their good flow of content year round. So definitely good, folks. Let us know what you think about the trailer so far of seeing that. You hype about this one? I know a lot of people are just itching to get Tommy back, but we're not getting there quite yet. Kanan is up next. But I will say this too. I'm hyped for Tate because you know why? It ain't Tate I care about. It is Stephen Ott that I care about. He might be one of the most interesting characters of this series right now. Like every scene, he gives me that comedic relief, but yet really straight to the point. Like the things like we be thinking, and he like completely like asserts it into every scene. Like Saxe, you know you can't do that. And we be like, Saxe, you know you can't do that. Then Steve also like, Saxe, you're a dumbass. You can't do that. So like I really just like how charismatic Stephen Ott is. And I think like considering the Democratic Party and his power, I would love to see it be a little more reflective of the city instead of just always on Saxe.
The point that it's about evil Democrats, you had me hooked. We don't get shows involving evil Democrats ever.
This is true.
And this is like, again, if it wasn't just focused on Tate, then yeah, I would enjoy the show. But I don't find Tate an overly interesting character to do a whole series on. But if they just focus on the world of everything that's revolving around James St. Patrick's death, then
that's what I think it is. I think Tate is like the token person, and obviously because of his tenure in acting, but like I don't see the character being that dynamic to give us 10 episodes. So I think, you know, we're going to see him kind of phase out. Maybe obviously somebody else running against him. Maybe Ramona comes back. Like I think that one's going to be the sleeper of all of these. So, but we'll see. And if by record, I mean by schedule, I mean that could be 2022. You know, so we'll see.
Well, I think Tommy is after Kanan. Is Tommy? Tommy's after Cain.
Okay.
Kanan. Yeah, Tommy's is after Kanan. So if Cain is summer 2021, maybe you're looking at maybe summer 2021 again, because I'm assuming they're going to want to bring this back in its same ghost.
Nah, Tommy is fourth. So he's oh wait, I see two different things. I'm not sure.
Tommy he's Power Book 4, which Kanan should be Power Book 3.
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, I don't know. I'm seeing two different things. I'm seeing power before being influenced, which is Tate. I'm also seeing power before being forced, and I'm also seeing power before 5 being force, which would be Tommy. So I don't know. Everybody in the comments, y'all gonna let us know. And regardless of what number it is, they can always flip it whatever they
Doesn't
need.
matter.
So yeah, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter what did so.
It doesn't. And like, there's been news that came out saying like they're going to treat it like a book. I don't know how that's news, but like common sense would think like because it's called book, but like even books ain't always read straight through.
Hey, I'm about to say.
So you just never know.
You get a prequel and a sequel thrown in at 2 and 3, and it completely throw you off. Like there's no telling.
And on top of that, too, you also got to consider like Stars is doing really good ratings wise. If one of these don't do good, then they may say, "Hey, we need to, flip something here." So, and obviously, some of these may have season 2s as well. So, we just never know.
Now, that's what I mean by the time slot thing. Is that with book 2, is it going to be in the same time slot next year?
Yeah, and yeah,
if it is, would you put the next book in the time slot to match Cain?
Right. Yeah, Tommy's is 5. I'm looking at it now just to be sure. And Influence, which is Tate's, is 4. So yeah, so
we need to stop calling that Tate. I think that's my issue. As we called it Tate because Tate will be one of the lead characters, but
yeah, it could be.
It is clearly saying Influence to let you know that it's a little bit more than just Tate.
True. But we'll see. We got years to go. We'll be here covering it.
Oh, and shout out to bringing all the black actors back because I peeped Omar Epps in that Cain and Jump.
I definitely speaking of people, new faces showing up. Laz Alonso today as Detective Santana. I was very pleased to see that guy. A big fan of him. As he is on campus trying to investigate the G2G murder. But
that Jackie Long? Was that Jackie Long in the car? Is Rico?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Hey! I happened to peep. I said, yeah. Jackie Long. Okay. Ain't seen you in a month of Sundays.
Hey man, right? Yeah, tonight's episode was pretty crazy. It was a whole bunch of everybody not trying to get caught up in their shenanigans. Everybody is avoiding something. And mostly because of the episode being titled Monster, the theme of Monster. Now, there should be some of this that should just hit everybody smack in the face here. But we're going to break this down just so you can kind of get a glimpse of like, or get a understanding of like what this title really means. Because it does get pretty deep. But on surface level, we all know that Ghost is the monster. And in Power, it was always that idea of him not identifying himself as a monster. Mm-hmm. And he always was pointing the finger at everything else. And this family guy and just trying to do the right thing was essentially he was the monster. Fast forward to this, Tariq knows that, and he's doing everything to avoid being his father. That's why, like in the beginning, in the classroom scene with Lauren, everything's so personal to him when you start bringing up these terms with him, because it just hits home. So like, wow, how he kind of, served one up to Lauren wasn't really warranted, but it was because of that triggering emotion. Because like he spazzed all the way, like we've never seen him. Like he was just like, can I talk? Like he went 100. But ultimately, too, just going to the end of this, Tamika coming back. And he admitted to Tamika that, he did it. Now, this comes full circle to the first episode where Tamika was the lawyer, got fired.
Had a deal.
Yeah.
Had a deal
for
Tasha. Yeah.
Tasha fired them. But she also, you remember Tamika said in court that James St. Patrick was a monster. And it comes back now to this by Tariq saying that I'm not a monster. My dad was. That's why I had to kill him. So like you're seeing this constant theme of what a monster looks like. You can be well dressed, you can have all the money, you can run the club, you can be a family man, but ultimately you can be a monster. And I think again, the Frankenstein little
analogy that they tried to pull off there
exactly
was way more about Tariq.
Yeah,
that was more about Tariq being a monster. And my girl, look,
Effie.
I know power groups. I know y'all out there want them to be the new Ghost and Tasha. I already know that.
Not even going to go search it right now.
I already know that's what y'all want. And this did nothing to dispel that from happening. But it was a great moment that needed to happen with Tariq when she says, we're both monsters.
Yeah.
I came to the realization that I was one. You just have to discover that on your own, that you're a monster.
Yeah.
And that's what Tariq is constantly fighting for, because he sees, it's weird for them to be reading Frankenstein and for him to still only see a monster in one way.
Mm-hmm.
Because even at the end with Tamika, who, again, damn, her glow up is amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. Amazing. But for him to still only see a monster in the way his father was, it's still him not, I don't think, fully accepting that he is a monster.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he even gives the reason why he's a monster at the beginning of the episode, when he said maybe you're a monster by the way you were treated.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this is all, I mean, this goes up and down the board in so many different stories and so many different genres. Beauty and the Beast is one. Hunchback of Notre Dame is one, where it's like these were really mistreated people that ultimately was categorized as monsters by the reflection of what other people's opinions were, ultimately how they were treated. And like, I love the Effie scene because I love how Tariq receives knowledge in different ways. Monet, I was about to say Monique. Monet, where Monet is brute force, tough love, and she's letting her know like these things are unacceptable. What you do reaps repercussions. Tariq's like, what I do reaps repercussions, and he comes to full realization is like, I am exactly who I know I am.
Hey, I was just waiting. I was waiting because when he said his father and she said, what do you mean your father? That's clearly setting up for a bigger conversation, because I'm just waiting, and I know everybody on this show is waiting. You're waiting for him to say his father's name, not James St. Patrick. You want him to say Ghost, because then you want her to understand who Tariq is, because amazingly she still hasn't no one on this show puts two and two together well.
Yeah, but again, I'm always going to defend Monet because she's always minimum detail. If the cash flows, then I'm good.
No. But Monet, it's understandable why she doesn't know.
Yeah, but
not Lorenzo. He should clearly know who he is.
100%. But to your point though, this is why now she's asking questions, because guess what's in jeopardy? The money.
hey, you know what? We just need to get into this, and all you people out there, I've been waiting for Murray to get a bigger role on this show for them to expand it more. And man, they are slow burning it, but clearly,
I mean,
when they take over a little bit more.
Lucas, I just want to give you a second to just really go down her accolades real quick for the people that think she should not have been casted for this role.
I understand. See, people get all power, and people forget like these people are Oscar-nominated actors and stuff of that nature. Like, this is a Golden Globe winner, Screen Actors Guild winner, Spirit Award winner, because she won all that for Mudvayne, and an Academy Award winning who should have won Best Supporting Actor for Mudvayne the year that she was nominated. Mudbound, I'm sorry, for the year she was nominated. Like, Mary can act. Yeah. Come on. Unless you just missed the first season of Umbrella Academy, you would know she can act. I think they are asking her to play this character in a certain way, and they needed Monet to be a certain way. And Mary, like, hey, if you just want me to be the hood woman up until you reveal more about the character, that's fine. And that's all she's been in this show, as her empire is crumbling around her. Because again, it's a comparison to Taraji on Empire 2, with these two characters of everything changes with them when everything starts crumbling around them. And that's all we're seeing right now with Monet, is everything's changing because everything is crumbling. And once it crumbles and she has to step up and do certain things, then we get her conversation with Cain at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into that. And two other things I just want to quickly say before we get to the top of the episode is that, going back to Effie really quick too. Now you got Effie, the love interest, who just resonates on that level where Tariq looks her in the eye and completely accepts it. It's not even a debate.
Is he accepting it, or is he following his mama's orders still? Because that's what I felt.
I don't think so. I think he's falling back into the idea of like loving her, and well, I won't say love. I mean, yeah, we'll say love, whatever. But he's falling with the idea of like, she called it what it is, bro.
she's going to be truthful to him. That's the key part.
They both, and again, even she admitted her fault. She's like, I was a monster for what I did to you. And I think the fact that she was so high sprung on the last episode of like, fuck him, blah, 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 blah. And the fact that they were even to be able to be social on that level, I think that's like truly the understanding of like who each of them are. And I love the two of them together, as we said last episode, but I love the fact that they really wrote their lines as fan service here. They said exactly what we've been saying. You two are cut from the same cloth. She's like, we are the same people. And I love how they did that. And that just squashes everything for us. That completely fulfills Effie's, really her stance in this love square, we'll just call. There's nothing else that needs to come with that. And you got one more episode left. So like we can't get much more depth on her. So like, but I love how they said like we're cut from the same cloth. Everything has been about Tariq this series. We got a lot of Tariq for 6 seasons in the other one. So we already get what it is now. We get that she understands him because she knows she's been there. And we now know that. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts now. It's said they are the same.
Yeah.
Female, male Tariq.
And no, they are not the new Ghost and Tasha. Stop it. Just stop it.
I would never go that way. And like
maybe Diana is, though. We're going to get about that, too. Because, hey, that conversation at the table with her, Drew, and that said so much.
Yeah, let's go get into it.
Let's get into it.
So start of the episode obviously is they're still trying to wrap their head around what happened with the guy that got drowned in the school, the G2G, which we now know get that guap. The Instagram influencers that got a little bit of drugs that's taking pictures of the hot boys, the corner boys, should we say?
Yeah, not corner boys if you on Instagram. Man, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you youngins.
Yeah, we seen Drew
drugs and go on Instagram.
We seen Drew with Lil Guap cutting them all up, and they're doing what they do. But ultimately, on campus now, you got Alonzo's character again, Detective Santana, who's there to investigate what's happening. Now, with this being said, they come to interview the 4 school personnel that we know, just the 4 we already knew. I mean, you would think like
the dean would be involved, or somebody else.
Never mind. I'm not nitpicking no more, because last time I nitpicked about campus stuff, people just came for me for about 40 comments. So
the lawyers that would represent the school, because all schools have lawyers that represent them. But no. We're going to go to this select group of teachers in this one course, because they can interview everybody in the whole school, all black kids. Just gather them all up.
I mean, if that's not profile, I don't know what it is. Like, it's strictly the one thing Jabari got right thus far. Like, Jabari didn't irk my nerves too much this one, but the one thing he got right is like everything about this.
I ain't like his cardigan. Profile. His cardigan was making me mad this whole episode. I don't know. It's just something about him that I don't like. His cardigan was just like, nigga, I don't like a black person in a cardigan. And I got plenty of cardigans, but it was the way he wore the cardigan that pissed me off, Joe.
Love me. Like, knowing Carrie and her other background, I thought was really interesting as well. And I almost, for a point, was like, I don't think we knew that, but we definitely didn't know that, because there would have obviously been more emphasis on it. So we do get to see her logic, her psychology, in the idea of wanting to look up Zeke, wanting to protect Zeke, rather, however you want to put it. She's a creep too for looking him up in a way.
How'd she get the baby pictures though?
That's what I'm saying. Just full blown.
She like Beyonce, just pull up random baby pictures of people. When I saw those, I said, okay, I don't get this.
I mean, that's one of those milk cartons under the steps or in the added pictures that you don't see except for two times a year, Christmas and birthdays.
Exactly. But again, it just shows just the research of her looking into his family after getting the GTG notice from, I'm not saying that, no, from the cop, and just going forward with everything after that. I think it brought an interesting dynamic for the entire episode of her protecting Zeke, but also possibly spilling secrets that won't protect Zeke.
Yeah.
Like, she put him in a hell of a situation, which was answered beautifully by again.
Yeah.
As more information is needed to have, and she gets more information, it becomes a problem.
I definitely was a little bit I was a little bit curious, but a little bit skeptical on like at Carrie's approach here as to wanting to know more, but also attaining a vast amount of knowledge so quickly that she didn't know how she was going to disperse it to people. And the idea like I can help you. No, you can't, because you can't show any formal relationship to it, because it's always going to be like, well, why are you super invested into protecting a person instead of investigating as to who the person is? Where the whole idea is to like, and the thing is too, like she did deep, evidence on him. When the other interesting thing that was said too is they said nobody on our campus is criminals.
Clearly, they just don't know their campus.
Yeah, so yeah, that's true, right? But like the whole idea, like she decided that wasn't good enough for her. She needed to know more, and she needed to, really be invested into his personal life, as he completely decided to not tell her.
It's the prosecutor mindset, which played a lot into when they said she was a prosecutor. Yeah. I do like the way that after that they made her look up the information like a prosecutor.
Me too.
Down to saying, "Oh, don't worry, we need to go because I can protect you." How many prosecutors say that to people before putting their life in mortal jeopardy? Like it's a known thing to have happen.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. Totally agree. But Jabari, he couldn't wait to whatever his accolades is. He couldn't wait to stick his 2 fingers in there, like, and I can work beside her in order to figure this out. I mean, unless next episode, I guess that meant nothing for this episode, except for again him just trying to
Tariq. He was thinking about Tariq. That's what it was. We know. We already know when he volunteered to help, he was helping because of Tariq. We already know this, man.
Hey, look, as soon as they said that they can run screenings with students essentially, and withhold, I mean, and protect their secrets and privacy, I was to myself like, really? Like,
man, rights mean nothing on this campus. Nothing on this campus. How the hell would cop? I don't care if you are a former prosecutor. No cop is going to agree to allowing you to question students, and then you let us know what the come on now. You know how many ethics violations that is to even attempt to do that thing? And then he announces it in class afterwards. Yeah. We're going to get together. We're not agents of the cops, but we're going to do things that make us agents of the cops. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and again, like light-skinned Keisha already knew that they were only going to be interviewing people of color. So like all this stuff is already out there, Joe. And it's been killing her role, without a question. Man. But like the beginning part of this episode didn't do too much for me. Like a lot of this stuff right here, as far as investigation, I probably could have did without. I hope there is like more to this going into next episode.
I think it's next season. I think they're setting up what's going to happen after whatever happens on the season finale. Because you don't introduce, to me at least, you don't introduce this detective character for only the last 2 episodes.
Yeah,
you do this because you're setting up something going down the line. Because then they do the same thing with Blanca, where she came in late or mid-season, and then it was just a branch off. Yeah. So I think it's the same thing here. Like you're introducing Laz here to branch him off later on, because then he'll become like that detective looking into things even after we're settled with whatever happens in the season finale next week.
Yeah. So funny, like everybody on campus knew like we don't trust the cops, but Jabari is like, but they'll trust us. So what's the point of me telling you anything if it doesn't automatically still go to the cops, and it's you're still a person of color going to the cops? Like,
I need this to be a black university for that to even make sense. Like, this is an Ivy League school. Is the majority of the kids on campus white? So you're just gonna gather up all the black kids and ask them questions just because it's 2 black teachers doing it? It's gonna make it better. If you don't get the hell out of here.
Man, I got questions here. Okay. Now, Saxe, obviously hitting up the marshal for them to do a search or raid, should we say, on all the inmates in jail, obviously for searching Tasha.
Yeah.
What am I missing here as to how he even had a sniff of a hint that Tasha had a burner? What would warrant him to do that?
Unless
what triggered him?
Overheard. I know he knows Tariq and Tasha are communicating, but yeah, it wouldn't pop into unless Riley told him like, well, Tariq's always huddling in the corner calling his mom, or they have something on Tariq's phone illegally that they're not supposed to have on his phone, and that's giving them the information that Tasha has a burner.
Well,
why would that even be a big deal? That's all I wanted to know. When they made it a big deal, like, well, why would you search her cell? Like, she's literally in jail. They do that often.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be like a once in a. That's not a okay, let's get her now type thing. That's a every week, every 2 weeks they want to do that. So there's no need to even justify it the way they made it seem like you needed to justify searching her cell.
Yeah,
and for her to say, "I want my attorney," like, nigga, do you not know you're in jail? What rights of attorney do you think? If you don't get the hell out of here, matter of fact, I'm gonna toss all your shit out of this cell and make you put it back in here. Stop playing.
Can I talk about the most qualified person of this entire episode? Dr. Epiphany Turner.
Look here. Hey, my girl that moved up in the world. When they pulled up to the house,
I was like, hell no. I was like, they don't arrest her right now.
How many drugs or how many? Where is Uncle Clifford when you need him? He better be down in the paint in a house that damn big.
Can I ask a question? How is she staying at somebody else's house, but they knew she was at that person's house?
It's again, people say we nitpick. It's called power logic. It's power logic because she's literally staying at her side nigga house while him and his wife are out of town, and everybody know where she's staying.
I just don't understand. What was the point of putting her in a new place? Why couldn't she just be home?
Hey, because it's power, man. Everybody got to glow up. Everybody needs to glow up.
I guess you need that vantage point so they can do the camera thing. So I mean, so be it. But now, nonetheless, like, here we go. Now she's qualified in pose. She's qualified in twerking. And she's about them dollars. But anyway, they needed her obviously because they need to get information on Tariq. I mean, while that's interesting and all, I thought that number one, I like her character as well too. Just really that other addict needed level of charisma, but also like I like the character because, like, you know, soon as you see a black woman projecting, you automatically think she's ghetto or whatever. So you have Dr. Epiphany Turner, who is that. But then, just to be very clear, then you have light skinned Keisha, who, you know, talks loud and whatever it may be, but super educated. I just hope that by all means now that people understand that there's a difference between these characters. They're not just the same. And I see people really slander her light skinned Keisha as if like she's ghetto, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like she's actually really educated and knows what she's doing.
An overly aggressive black woman will be called ghetto by people who don't understand.
But Epiphany Turner, I mean, she's not as dumb as she looks. I mean, she's doing what she's doing. She's living good, and
extremely loyal. That's extremely loyal. Because again, she was doing everything because she was told it would help Tasha. And so at first, I thought that she was flipping for a deal for herself up until that conversation with her and Tariq, and she was like, "Is all this going to help Tasha?"
Yeah. Yeah. So do you, I mean, you know, this is also another, this is like, I hate to say it, but this is also like another ghost move here. The idea of coming to execute, but having a sense of consciousness and paying the person off to leave town. Her leaving town, I guess I leave the possibility. I mean, you know, Courtney says all the time, if you don't catch a bullet, then there's a possibility of you coming back. I would like to see how and what and when she will come back. I think she's still a really interesting character. She obviously knows how to move money, and I think the strip club presence will also still be another cool element to bring into this show. Like,
she can just go down. She got away. Let her go down to the paint. Let a new stripper show up. Effie Turner shows up on his doorstep.
But to your point though, do you think that Tariq should have did what he did, or should he had?
In no situation was it smart to pay her off with the money that goes to the person, your supplier. Like but it played a part of him wanting to get killed. Like it felt like after that conversation with his mom, like he just like, man, forget it. I don't care what happens to me.
Yeah.
And that was his reaction to him not caring what happens to him, was him giving away that money because he knew the consequences. Again, as Monet pointing a gun to his face, and the kids naively say, "No, Ma, don't do it." Like, come on now, if you let one nigga get away with that, you're not a drug dealer at that point. You're a drug loaner. We don't loan drugs out to people.
Yeah.
And he knew, and when he said no, I understand. I understand what I did. So it would have been better for him just to kill her. But in all honesty, it would have been better if he would have just told her exactly enough information for her to blow up everything when she got on stage. That's what I thought he was going to do, especially when she said that is this going to help Tasha and all this stuff. And he goes for the gun. Is like, that's the difference between him and Ghost at times. Yeah. Ghost understood people enough to listen.
Yeah.
Let me see how I can use you.
Yeah.
And that was a missed opportunity for him to use her in a way. But again, it's also to set up him in his burgundy Suge Knight suit.
So what is your thoughts about Tasha pretty much ordering a hit?
After she said, I didn't want you involved in any of this, Reek. After this mommy dearest protector image, you sent him out to kill somebody. Like, come on, Tasha. Like, what sense would that make? He's clearly a little punk. He ain't killing nobody.
Yeah,
he cried to you because someone tried to kill him last episode. In this episode, you sent him to kill somebody.
She was desperate. She was super desperate. Super desperate.
But it also, to me, gleans back to her not fully understanding that he's not his father. You can't do that type of stuff with Tariq. The moment he saw the little tiger, it was over. Like, oh, he's not gonna kill her. He sees her as a mother. Like, it's never gonna work.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It definitely was a head scratcher to me. I was just thinking to myself, like, oh, so you're, in court fighting for your life because they think you are a kingpin,
and
then you order a hit. That if your son, who's never done a hit, can't adequately clean up the scene, is clearly on all accounts either going to lay y'all next to each other or not even next to each other, either next to each other or very damn near close to each other, because it's always going to come back. And it just didn't make no sense. But again, I think the only thing to take away from this is that she was just super desperate, and we'll just leave it at that. Luckily, Tariq, and like, it's kind of crazy too, because like she was legitimately questioning Tariq as if like, did you do it? Did you do your homework? And I don't know what that means. I mean, I know you're not asking him on the recorded line that you already acknowledged that was recorded.
Yes, she is. Clearly, she's asking him, did you kill her?
It's as if these code words.
Because cops don't pick up on code words anymore. They just forget all about that. Of course, you're calling him at 10 o'clock at night.
Look, she was just desperate. She was just desperate. That's all I'm gonna leave it at that. She was just desperate. Okay, so let's get into, where should we go? Should we go to the courtroom, or let's get to the towards the end of this episode now. Now, the biggest thing for me, the scene I've been waiting for, is the Monet rolling up on Carrie. Now, you say you wanted to talk about this, but like, this was something that we seen this all come to fruition. So this was the inevitable scene that I couldn't wait to see. And man, was it cool. Wish it could have been longer, but man, was it cool. But what was your thoughts?
Even the build up to it, of Zeke going there talking, and Zeke, you like call him my professor, and she said, "Oh, Carrie, right?" Like, she the way she picked up on things in this episode was great because she knew then there was something going on with them too. And the point that she had sent, I'm guessing she talked to Diana about it. Maybe she sent Diana to get more information. And for her to pop up in that room, like, even though when we saw her, Carrie, walking back towards the room, you knew Monet was in there. You knew Monet was in there. But just that whole conversation, yo, you fucking him. Like, and you talk about the right and wrong thing to do. And it was a great scene. And it's finally exposing the hypocrisy of Carrie.
Yeah.
You can't say you're looking out for the kid while you're fucking him and you're his advisor. You're literally doing the same thing that you blame Jabari for. You can't, you're becoming him. And that's another play on
outside being a sociopath. But yes, she's definitely she's definitely taking a walk down his alley right now. Yep. Not even questioning. And like I do like her character. And I like the character as a character favorite of mine, but like I think that it needed to have some spice to it here. And I think this is definitely the good way to go about that, to kind of and again, I said, like, you know, everything she does is about power, and that's literally what Jabari is. He just wanted control and power over her. Now that she reclaimed her power after she stopped seeing her therapist, which is obviously talking about that, now that she can impose that type of power and will over Zeke, and she feels really good about it because he's successful and has a career coming, and she continues to like entertain it, although she's trying to also out, like I said, babe, but it doesn't even matter what pace it's going. She's dictating it all. She's like, I want you when I want you. I don't when I don't. This is the last time. This is the only time. It'll never be no more. I'm here to protect you.
Literally the same way Jabari was talking to her at the beginning of the season. It's the same way she's talking to Zeke now.
Yeah, there's a lot of things coming full circle. That's for sure. A lot of people always put emphasis on the finale, but like a lot of the time, episode before that is usually the one that does the most storytelling.
Yes,
but there was a lot of action in this one too. Like there was definitely was, but this is, I mean, hell, this could have almost been a finale.
Yeah, for the things that happened and the things that are revealed in this episode, like. We haven't even talked fully yet about Cain and everything that goes along with him going down a very reckless road. And I know people, again, in your power discussions, you're going to want to defend this knucklehead. All of these knucklehead ass decisions. But he put everybody in jeopardy the moment he pulled the corner boys. But I'm kind of wondering, why the hell is he able to pull the corner boys? Do these people on the street just not know who they work for?
Well, he's in other words, he's like the tax collector. So like he is the person that goes and enforces things to, you know, they live by his call. But yes, you have to kind of think about, like, do y'all not know the structure? But I guess they think because they're on top of the mountain that there wouldn't be trouble in paradise. So I'm guess that's just what I would think the assumption is. And the G2G is just the foolish knucklehead example that we get to see on a day-to-day basis. But I definitely have a few more questions about that. But one other thing I really want to quickly too, going back to Effie really quick. I thought what was really important too was the line that Effie said that I am not 100% sure, but I have a lot of confidence that Angela also said this to Ghost about the I can't tell if you're lying.
Yep, she did.
And I was thinking to myself, like, oh, and again, I think that's just the realization, you know, of him realizing who he is, also fighting the fact that he doesn't want to be his father, but like seeing the comparing the contrast. I just thought that was a cool line of her saying you can't tell if you're lying, and that I'm a monster, you're a monster, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that was really, 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 really good. And I also love the idea that when Brayden and him was talking about being able to move the product and her skill in doing so, and that she's at Yale and the demand. I thought the emphasis on Yale was also important again because people thought she was an idiot. And a lot of people just clearly did miss that line of her being at Yale. So also at another Ivy League. And I think that no matter how her approach may be and her delivery, you always still got to remember that she still is very when it comes down to her intelligence. I think that she really projects like I feel like she projects her intellect on people she cares about to the utmost. When she gets in those scenes with Tariq, she can be aggressive, but she also drops endless knowledge on him, both in this and in when they were in Choke. So I think like you really got to like take a lot of the basic stereotypes out of some of these characters out there and really just let these characters flow. And I think Effie's just a prime example of, you know, just because she can do it on a corner and make a ton of money in a day, she still is at Yale. Regardless if we see her in class, she's at Yale. So, but yeah, let's get to hothead Cain now. I think it's about time for Cain. We'll go to Cain and then we'll go to the courtroom shenanigans in a second. But Cain, so like I said, we start off the episode with Cain cutting up the G2Gs with Little Guap. We also know that Little Guap father, Big Guap, or is it his father? Or
I don't know, but every time I hear Guap, I think of Gucci Mane.
Okay, yeah, well,
that's
his Guap. We got Guap,
yeah.
Little Guap, and Big Guap. Big Guap used to run with Cain dad. So we're just looking at the predecessors of not the predecessors. What do you call them? The whatever. The now the younger generation of them. We'll go with that. But obviously, they're not even on the same page. Like the thing with Cain is that like he got them. He tried to create some type of like hierarchy with them, but he's still doubling back down with his family. So once he seen that Little Guap came in with the pills and said that's Monet's product, he instantly turned on her. He went to go and protect them. The only thing that matters about Cain is Cain wants to be in a place of power. He wants to be wanted. That's all that matters. If I eliminate Tariq, then she needs me. It's always I want her to need me. And I think that's just a super duper sign of immaturity. Extreme. But it should be almost super transparent for every audience. Everybody should be able to say, I know somebody like that.
You think so, right? You think so. It's going to be people that's going to still defend, again, these stupid decisions. Once you pull the corner boys and everything else, it was a trickle effect. He had to know, unless you don't know business, you had to know what was going to happen. Matter of fact, Drew told you what was going to happen, and he paid no attention then. So again, when we get to the big moment of Little Guap or Little whatever coming in with Monet supply and Cain making a big deal about it, I'm like, why would you make a big deal about it? You knew this was going to happen. Like you set all this up.
Even Little Guap for once did something intelligent. He was like, wait, but that's what you wanted. I'm to myself like, I'm confused. I could have sworn that's what he wanted all this time.
Exactly.
He's like, wait, you got a supply? He was like, oh, wait, this is Monet's. He's like, yeah, but this is what you wanted. And he instantly kirked on. I mean, it's the signs of a hothead.
It's the family thing that kicks in with Cain from time to time. He wants to be the protector, but you can't put them in danger and then want to be the protector. Like the protector understands every move I make and ramifications for the moves I'm going to make. It's the immaturity and being a hothead where it don't pop into his head until it's too late. Yeah. And that's why when Monet kept on blaming him, I understand people are going to be like, well, why is she blaming him? You got to pay attention from the beginning. This has all been set up through Cain making bad move after bad move after bad move. There would be no hunting them down or DC Joe dying if it wasn't for Cain. There would be no investigation and Zeke almost getting shot if it wasn't for Cain. Every decision that he's made is affecting everything else is going on with their business.
Yeah, when you get Rico to come from DC, I mean, I would assume because DC Joe, but if you had Rico make that 4-hour drive up 95 to go handle business, when you have the man come up, you know it's a problem. But you knew this was going to happen, and then much like you said about being too late, even before the drive-by, he was too late. Like it's so synonymous with his mentality to really recognize every situation. But he wants to be in charge.
And it was past due for Monet to say what she said to him at the end of this episode, which is run away, because I'm going to take you out.
Yeah,
like You're too reckless. You can't be this. And we've fought it from episode 1 to this point in the season of how reckless Cain is.
Yeah.
And it's caught up with him. He's too emotional and he's too reckless. And you can't have those two qualities and think you can run anything.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that the whole drive-by scene, pretty dope. I like, Tariq saving Diana. Obviously, it's going to pay dividends in the future. But we have to talk about Drew.
That punk ass.
I mean, I always feel bad when I got to say something because I instantly know I'm gonna hear you're nitpicking. Drew had no reason to get up. Monet said, "Don't go." Monet always has a gun, by the way, because you know why? Because she just had it, right? Because it was just on Tariq. So where are you going to get a gun, Drew? Oh, also Tariq has a gun because he just had it. So
Jay, don't even focus on that. Don't even focus on that part. Their shooting would seem like AKs. What the fuck is your little handgun going to do until they stop shooting? You don't move until they stop shooting. I know there's a lot of people out there, and again, I'm not going to dive too far into things, but I know there's a lot of people out there who've never been in gunfights. But you don't get up until it's a break in the shooting. There was no break in the shooting, and he got up.
Also, I wouldn't have got up at all. If I need to get somewhere, I would just slide by. He didn't even
got fully up
and
went on the Ricky run. The Ricky run never works for people. When he fully got up to get on the Ricky run, I said, "Oh yeah, okay."
I real talk. I was just like, "Oh damn, Drew! Like, damn, your dumb ass! Why'd you get up, dog? Like, what are you doing, dude?" Like,
I knew he was gonna be fine when I saw just a one bullet hit him. Which for the guns they are shooting, ain't no way in hell one bullet was supposed to hit him. It should have been multiple bullets hitting him.
You're nitpicking now.
Yeah, you damn right I'm nitpicking. Damn it, I shoot guns for a living. There's no way in hell of that powerful of a rifle of them blasting off, he'd have got shot just in the shoulder.
I will say this too. On another note, I like how cool, calm, and collective Tariq was. I mean, immediately before this, he was ready to die. So I love the fact that he showed no urgency in this. I don't think that would have made sense, like psychology wise, because he basically came to terms of I am who I am, and I need to wreak my punishment for all I've done. He protected. That's why the protection of Diana just means so much here, because it wasn't just like an instant reaction. It was literally a change in everything for him, where he was just like, I don't care about myself, but he instantly cared about something else. And I think that, like, for the next episode, last episode that we got, we'll kind of have to see how that. And of course, Monet said, I owe you for that. We're not done, but like,
you're not done. That don't take up for the money you owe me.
Yeah, but it was a big thing. It absolutely was a big
thing. They don't have to pay a supplier back either, so that's the key point too. Because once you attempt to kill them, you give a fuck about your money no more.
Just one more question. Do you think there's any chance that they're going down to DC?
We would hope so. Yeah. But they'll go to Baltimore before they go to DC. Everybody goes to Baltimore, man.
No, real talk. The only way DC Joe could be called DC Joe is he from DC, right? Unless he's like Dream Catchers and they're from Philly.
Or like DC
Dream Chasers. What am I saying?
Dream DC Chasers. Young Fly. He ain't from DC.
Okay, good point. Good point. Let's change subject.
It could just be initials. It could just be initials for something.
Yeah, let's just change the subject there. I ain't got time for that. So yeah. So okay, let me just make sure we just got everything covered really quick before we get to the courtroom stuff. Oh, Drew, not saying that he wanted more. Obviously, we know Drew has a profession, a desire in the profession to be an artist. He wants to do art. And Monet kind of sympathizes because she wants him to do that.
But she let him know, we passed that. It's above us now.
Yeah.
You ain't doing that no more, buddy.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. But I mean, like, I think it's going to be interesting to see how Drew response from this situation. I mean,
gotta stop.
He almost got killed last week. He almost got killed this week. I know he's not going to be in danger next week again. He can't go 3 for 3.
He makes just the world's softest decisions. And that's what I meant by talking about that scene with them at the table. When your sister says, so then what did you do? And you don't got nothing that you did, that should tell you it's a problem. You see this dude there with your brother and with Monet. Air it out.
Everybody
gotta go.
Everybody.
Fuck that. And I agree. If you're gonna send a message, if you're going to be the head of anything or even part of that organization, you can't let Cain, who may be your brother and you have feelings, I get that. Everybody else gotta die but him. Everybody else. Especially when you see little Guap there. And you're asking him questions like, well, why is he
still breathing?
Why is he still breathing? Nigga, did you kill him? You had multiple chances to do it and never did it. Instead, you sent Cain to do it. Like, that should have told you where his loyalty was at right then and there. And I think it did for Monet.
Yeah.
The point that then you go back to mommy and let mommy know, mommy, like, big brother is doing X, Y, and Z, and this dude is still alive. At that point, she had to make up her mind about Cain. Like, you're doing us no good. And Drew, you're really doing no good by not making the decisions that are necessary. I've been saying for weeks, the daughter is the one who should be taking over this organization. Them sons, one is a knucklehead and one is way too soft.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Drew put in work for a couple of weeks, but like, I think like it just exposes the idea that he's just not ready yet. And I mean, he's not even willing to be ready. So like the progression here, I'm cool with it. And I mean, Diana still has her flaws, and now that she's clearly going to be in love with her new Romeo and Tariq, you know, and she definitely, I mean, she pleaded a whole case for why Tariq shouldn't get shot. She said my man had family, he had kids, he had
yes. What about Yas, mommy? Yas would be by herself.
she I swear she was just like, save that dude. He got a PS5. Like, don't kill that guy. So man. I mean, and we haven't had a lot of Diana and Tariq in a while, so I'm guessing we're gonna get some of that next week. But anyway, let's get into the courtroom stuff. Now, first of all, again, I'm a big fan of Stephen Ott, and I think that I need more Stephen Ott. And hopefully when they do Power Book Influence, we get more of him. But like him keeping Saxe in check is just so legitimate. But the biggest issue here is that there's a lot of theatrics going on in this courtroom and no one's aware of anything. Like the fact that both
get up at the same time.
Both Davis and Saxe go to the bathroom together. Go. First of all, you know what blew me in that scene? They went and checked the stalls as if like, is anybody in here? Bro, y'all got a whole deal together and y'all walking around as if y'all, like they said, playing under the bleachers together. It is so evident that they're in cahoots. It makes no sense.
Man, it's not even hitting anymore.
It really, like, when Saxe needed more time, when he needed to recess because as our favorite Dr. Epiphany Turner didn't show up, he looked immediately at Davis. I'm like,
hey bro, you can't help out here. You know we got a deal. He might as well just say that right to the judge. You know we got a deal. You can't help out here. Like it made no sense.
But yeah, now we know that everybody is turning on everybody now. I think almost, I mean, this episode really did.
It exposed everything.
We know about Tariq.
Tariq knows that David and Saxe are working together. Tasha knows that David and Saxe are working together.
Yeah. Brayden knows about
Riley. Saxe's niece. Like everything is finally exposed. All the cards are laid on the table. As it pertains to the court hearings that we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for all of this stuff to be exposed to see what's the next steps that's going to happen. David lost his number 2 as Tasha beautifully played how long you going to be the side chick. in this relationship. She played that card beautifully.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, when 3OW Tasha come out, it ain't no stopping her. Like,
she started making those promises. It's over at that point, Joe. It's over at that point, man. But again, we've been waiting for all of this stuff to be exposed in the courtroom scenes, and now that it's all out there, now that they're all on the table, it kind of sets up, hopefully, that most of the next episode will be focused on the courtroom stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Tariq will be taking street things that need to be handled, but if we could get a good 15 minutes, maybe, on a courtroom theatrics of what's going to happen, because that's going to be the biggest part of possibly season 2 of Power, is what happens in that courtroom.
Yeah, Tariq hitting the stand. I mean, I really don't have any predictions as to where this is going.
Get Tamika back. That's all I care.
Yeah, Tamika's back.
Pitbull when she's going after Saxe. She's going after David. She's going after everybody, and she will not tell a soul. I do like that. I know most shows do that now, but I love the point she said, "Give me $1," because that was highly important. Because if he would just start talking to her up front, I'd have had so many questions.
Here you go, nitpicking.
hey, I'm sorry. I love that.
No, but it is super important. I think that, you know, they talked about how Epiphany is the most dangerous. Yeah, well, while that may be true on one side, Tamika has always been the most dangerous.
She has all the secrets. She knows what Saxe did. She knows everything.
She knows about Saxe. She knows about Detective Rodriguez's stance with that. She knows, and then Davis, obviously, because Davis needed her, so he knows all about that. Yeah.
What's the point there? I think the video may be brought up. That's what I'm really waiting for. I think they're going to bring the video up because it's inadmissible. And if he brings that video up and it is revealed that his niece has been going up to the schools and she drugged Tariq, no one's going to believe the video anyway. All it looks like, and all it ever looked like, was a kid mad at their father.
Yeah, and let's not forget. Well, let's pretty much put this on the table. Saxe is absolutely bringing up the video because Saxe will get desperate. He's going to have to look back at Ott. Ott's going to give him one of those look, and he's going to be like, "I like to enter this into evidence,"
and they're going to look at him like he's a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
And also, then that's when his niece is going to be brought up. The one that he doesn't fully understand how exposed she is yet.
Yeah. And with Epiphany missing, I wonder if that's ever going to come into question. You had a star witness go missing. I don't know if it's going to make if it's even going to be brought up, but like, you have to think it's suspicious that she went missing after we seen the last 2 people that was with her.
We know Ott has that in his back pocket. He's going to play that card if necessary to protect James St. Patrick.
Yeah, true. Very true. And that is, and that's the thing. You have to forget, he's not on Saxe's side. Nope. He just wants Saxe to take down Tasha to protect
now he wants
James.
To take down Tasha, Tariq, and David. This man, he is running the Negro trifecta here. He like, no, take them all out. Take them all out.
Oh man, is there anything else really quick? I'm trying to think of something else I said I was going to say, and I cannot remember. What was I going to say? Cain, really quickly again. So Cain philosophy is, if we take out Tariq, then she'll want me. But you take out the one person who can protect your entire family in Ramirez.
Not only did you take out the one person that can protect your entire family, you shot and killed a New York City police officer. Like, it makes no sense. And I know some people in certain groups, and maybe some people in our comments, because we love y'all comments, but I know some of you are going to glean a different meaning from Lorenzo saying, when Monet and him off the trailer next week says he's a problem, and he said he's the solution now. I know y'all gonna think that means you're gonna bring him and welcome him back into the family. I want you all to think for a second that it could mean something completely different that leads to Cain being killed. Just think about it. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but you killed a New York City police officer. You are now public enemy number one. You're on a hunt from everybody. Like your dad wants to kill you because you took away the protection for the family. Like you
no. Not just the protection from the family, but as Lorenzo likes to say, one of the soldiers, the main soldier that protects his wife.
And he just whooped your ass for kind of putting your hands on his wife. And then you take away her bodyguard. You killed her, Kevin Costner. Like, what do you think gonna happen, man?
I need next week to be like an hour and like 15 minutes.
Know that ain't gonna happen. Courtney giving you a cold 52 minutes. That's what normally with other shows you would think season finale, you make it an hour 20, hour 15. Nope. Power's giving you that straight 52 minutes, 55 minutes. That's it. We get no more than that, Joe.
All right, man. Do we got anything else we need to cover? I feel like I hit my notes. Anything I'm missing?
Just again, congratulations to Dr. Epiphany Turner, PhD.
Got a doctorate in
strippernomics. Like she is the ultimate side piece. She's the ultimate hustler. Who the hell else could get their side nigga to leave them keys to their mansion when they go away for their wife? Man, she just
I just leave evidence just so I can start some stuff because he likes that game.
For that. Just so much more respect. Who the hell leaves their side chick the keys to their mansion though?
It's wild out there in New York, man.
Hey, man, in them power streets, things get crazy, and I respect her so much.
You know what? For a minute, I wanted to be her house because I just wanted to be like, damn, so it's moving like that in the clubs, huh?
Hey, I really did. I really thought when she opened that door up, like, damn, I don't know how much ass is she shaking? Like, Jesus.
She is Dr. Ass, by the way, now. So
Ass.
Her premium is much higher. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Stern owns that club.
You know what? We say Stern all season. We need at least Stern. We need a sighting in the season finale of Stern. Just one.
Yeah.
Just one sign of them. Or some of Ramona. Have her pop up too.
Yeah, I know people have been waiting to see where she's going. I mean, Influence, obviously, she'll be there, but
what's really be on there? But we already know Cain is a prequel.
Yeah.
So that next logical sequel to this will be Influence. So just have her show up.
Yeah.
Blow all that stuff up in the courtroom.
Yeah, because I tired of all this BS. I is like, you know what? I'm done with this. So yeah,
we ain't seen Han either.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mom. Yeah. He got name dropped today. We haven't seen Han in a minute.
Like all of them got to come back in this one just to help set up the next series.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the G2Gs who have parties, but there's only one member. They just need to just let it go. They need to let it go, man.
They are the weakest gang. We just, besides that one clip in like episode 2, it was when they were on Instagram, and it seemed like it was a big group of them.
I'm telling you, man, them influencers, man, they got witchcraft. They make themselves seem a lot bigger than what they are.
Hey, because clearly it looked like it was him and 4 other niggas. Cain killed all 4 of them. Well, 3 of them, and 2-Bit, who all we get from 2-Bit is a text message, "Where my money?" We ain't getting nothing else from it.
Yep, no 2-Bit this week, guys. Sorry. But I don't know. It was definitely a good episode. I mean, I wouldn't have been mad if this was a season finale. I know like people want a little bit more action, but like there was a lot of good storytelling. And like considering how the dynamics of this episode brought things full circle from the first episode, we got a lot. I mean, this series is powerful to Ghost, and the name Ghost is dropped in court randomly. But this episode was a clearly definition of why Ghost makes sense, because you're seeing, the comparisons of Tariq and his dad, and Tariq is not the next Ghost, but he is his father's son. And we're seeing him struggle between identifying as that and also trying to identify as not being that. And monster, one of the most iconic terms of all of this series was, with this being the title of it, I think it really put into layman's terms like how like prominent it was throughout all of Power, because it was Ghost's struggle of trying to be this corporate stand-up person, doing the right thing for Tasha, doing the right thing for Tariq, doing the right thing for Angie, but he was just a ball of destruction. He was a monster. Everything that got around him was crumbled. He constantly lied. Even
Tariq says that in this episode, and then we get the many flashbacks of every bad thing that surrounded him.
Yeah. So really good, really good episode from the folks at Power doing this one. So yeah, we'll be back for the finale next week. We already know it's going to be crazy. Definitely stay tuned for that. And always, folks, let us know in the comments what you thought about tonight's episode. Please, in the comments, let me know what I was nitpicking at, because I love that shit. But y'all be right there. Like, y'all be right.
Possible. Y'all haven't seen nitpicking yet. I ain't nitpicked this show, really. I haven't seen it yet. Wait till the finale.
Y'all be right though. Y'all definitely be having some good stuff. But we definitely appreciate the love, support, and the good feedback. And we're back each and every week. But obviously the finale is next week, and then I guess we're on break until summer as far as with Power. But you can also stay tuned for many other shows we're going to be reviewing. But as always, we'll see you next week for episode 10. Thank you for watching, folks.